Hello, everybody. Welcome along to another championship prediction show. It's one of those weird midweek bonus rounds. We can thank the Omicron spike back in December. We've got a load of cancelled games, 8 of them this midweek round. So nearly an entire round's worth of games. We are, as ever, going to be looking at each and every one of those games. We are, as ever, partnered with Betfair and Football 365. However, we won't be using the predictor today because that got all confused when all the games got cancelled. So we would love to get your opinion on each and every one of these games happening this midweek. And I will give you my thoughts, of course, as we go. First up, it is Middlesbrough versus Fulham. So a tricky one immediately. Let me know your thoughts in the chat. Middlesbrough draw or Fulham? Middlesbrough draw or Fulham? And immediately a very, very tricky one for us to call. Now, are you of the opinion that Fulham might let their foot off the gas a little bit over the coming weeks? They're kind of already there, aren't they? 80 points, and frankly, if they probably won one more game and lost the rest of them, probably still going to get automatic, aren't they? So I don't know. Are Fulham going to let up, or are they going to push on really, really full force to get those mid-90s and 100 goals? Let me know your thoughts on this one. Middlesbrough draw or Fulham? Middlesbrough are very, very good at home. I think they've won 8 on the trot, and they also have won their last 2 away games as well, Middlesbrough, Birmingham and Peterborough. Let me know your thoughts on this one. Tricky one to call. I suspect we might get a few draws in this one. Would both sides take a point? It's a hard game, whichever way you look at it. Let's see what you guys are saying. Hello to everybody in the chat as well. Draw for Sean. Fulham, Romulus. Draw. Borough win since it's at home. Away. Toughest game of the season for Fulham, but Andrew still thinks they're going to win it. So does Mark. Remember, vote for what you think is going to happen, not what you hope is going to happen, guys. Draw. Borough, difficult draw. That's difficult. That's different than unhelpful draw. Borough. Need Fulham to win for Forest's sake. Again, let me know what you think is going to happen, not what you want to happen. Fulham 2-1. Borough, we're all over the place for this. Borough, Fulham, Borough. We've had a complete down the middle. I reckon we had a third of each there. I think I'm going to play this one very good. You know, I can see this one being 1-1. I can see like an equaliser at 70 minutes or something, and both sides just sitting back and staying calm on the point on this one. So, Enid's sleeping, so I won't go too loud, but I will go draw for Middlesbrough versus Fulham. A 1-1 draw with our friends at Betfair. You know, 1-1's always 5-1, isn't it? Please gamble responsibly if you fancy that one. Let's move on. Talk to me, guys, about Bournemouth and their trip to West Brom. How do you see this one going? West Brom draw or Bournemouth? West Brom draw or Bournemouth? It's another sort of pretty tricky one in terms of our top 2, isn't it? Bournemouth are doing the legwork here, aren't they? 11 points in their last 5 games. I keep saying Bournemouth have only had one bad run this entire season, that 8-game stint where they only got 9 points. The rest of it, they've been absolutely fine, even though many aren't convinced by what the eye test says against the output there. Get your predictions in. West Brom draw Bournemouth. I think West Brom are on the beach now after that defeat at Birmingham at the weekend. They're down in 12th. Does that make them a more dangerous opponent or a less dangerous opponent? I don't know. If it makes them all relaxed and the shackles come off, you could kind of argue a West Brom win because all the pressure's on Bournemouth. But you can also argue if West Brom are on the beach that Bournemouth should be able to go there and do the business, frankly. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat on this one. West Brom draw or Bournemouth? I think it's harder to call than the table in terms of just looking at the table because I think West Brom have underachieved. Let's see what you lot think here. Yeah, pull your joker out if you need it. Where are we landing here? Phil, Bournemouth, Baggies, Bournemouth, Bournemouth. You guys are heavy on Bournemouth. You don't see the West Brom angle that I do you? Draw. Baggies with the joker. Draw. Bournemouth. Draw. West Brom rise against the top teams. Bournemouth. They do seem to actually, don't they? Draw. Safe. Bournemouth win. I don't think I agree wholeheartedly with Alex SP, the last commenter there. I do think Bournemouth are going to win. I think they might 2-1 this and just keep getting the job done. I think at the end of the season, we're going to be saying Bournemouth just got the job done. It may not be as spectacular as Fulham and their possible 100 goals, but I think I'm going to hit the away button. I have to say, away. Let's go for a 2-1er. And let me just quickly check up. We don't have the predictor technology here. 9-1. There's value there if you fancy it over at betfair.com. 9-1 on Bournemouth to win at West Brom and keep that momentum up. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a draw, but I've already gone for a draw for the first game. Guys, thank you for joining me right now. Before we get on to who's next, Luton, please do, if you'll indulge me in a like spike, hit that like button. If you're watching the predictions show right now, we've got 19 likes already, which is fantastic. I would love to get us up to 50 likes. So if you're watching right now, please do hit the like button. Yes, it's a little bit of fun, but it does help us climb the rankings and hopefully reach more and more Championship fans that we can bring in to make their predictions as well. Right, let's move on. And it is Luton visiting Peterborough. Get your predictions in for this one. Peterborough, draw, Luton. Peterborough, draw, or Luton. Peterborough done now? Is that it after the weekend? 26 points from 39 games. Very poor, isn't it? Very poor total for Peterborough. 80 goals conceded. And Luton are good, aren't they? So I suspect the logic maybe says that a lot of the votes are going to go in one direction for this one. Get your predictions in. Peterborough draw or Luton. Can you argue it in Peterborough's favour? It's difficult, isn't it? Okay, they bet QPR, but QPR have got no confidence at the moment, have they? So I'm trying to find reasons why Luton won't win rather than anything else. Luton had a difficult one at the weekend against Millwall, came from behind twice, showed their character. They've been showing their character all season. Luton up there in fourth place. And with Huddersfield not playing, in fact, I believe, is Luton's next game against Huddersfield away? Woo-hoo! You love it. So Luton can go past Huddersfield. And if I've got my fixture list right, then it will be a direct head-to-head thereafter. So big game, this one, and a big round. And can Luton get the 3 points on? Let's see what you lot are saying. Peterborough, draw, or Luton? Let's have a look in the chat and see what you all think. Justin, we'll start there. Luton, away for Sean, draw for JJ. Luton for Owen, draw for Mark, draw for NFFC. Again, I do see some patterns in the voting. Maybe I need to get you to put in brackets which team you support with your predictions as well. Hatters, Luton. Banana Skin. Yeah, I'd Luton are above Banana Skins at the moment, aren't they, Kate? I don't know. Away, Luton. Draw. Posh, bounce back, draw, Joker. There you go, Jimmy. Luton. Can't go against Luton. Gonna miss the chat. Well, you've got dearly departed still if you do go up, Harry. You don't have to go anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. Luton. Yeah, okay. All right, I'm going to hit the away button then, and we'll go behind Luton on this one. Away! Do you know what? I think I'm going to go tight. I think I'll go for a 1-0 in this one. And Luton, muscle memory, even if they don't play well, get that job done. Get that clean sheet. 11-2 over at betfair.com. Please gamble responsibly if you're going to have a little tipple tomorrow. Is it tomorrow night or is it Wednesday night? We do have some Wednesday night games as well. We're going to cover them all right now. How about this one? Nottingham Forest versus Coventry. Nottingham Forest in fantastic form. Coventry got another last-minute goal, equaliser, injury time, whatever. But they're not at home, Coventry here. They have to visit the City ground. Get your predictions in. Forest draw or Coventry. Forest, draw or Coventry in this one. It's hard to go against Forest at the moment. I think Forest are at some point going to get tired. I don't think it's going to be in the next 5 or 6 games, I have to say. And the worrying thing for Forest is they keep this up and then get tired in the playoffs rather than on the attempt at getting into them. But I'm very high on Forest at the moment. They look super confident. I thought Blackpool away was a hard game, wasn't it? Coventry have got the potential to be a nuisance for a lot of teams going into this run. And I know they've got a lot of the big boys, but I think, and we'll see if we've got Cov fans in here, we normally do, I think they're more of a nuisance at the CBS. So I'm leaning on a Forest win in this one, I have to say. Let's see what you lot are saying in the chat here. Let's start with Gary. Forest are on a march. Can't disagree with that, can we? From round 8, Gary, I think they've been on the march. 1-1. Forest not by much. Forest. There's one for Cov. Well done, military official. Forest draw, 96-minute equaliser. Either way, I suppose Forest have done that a couple of times. It was that game against Stoke, wasn't it? Where they went down to 10 and then still equalised. Forest. Cov. Forest draw, Cov, 89th minute equaliser. Forest. Cov going to upset the odds like they always do. Foregone conclusion. Wasn't that David Brent's band? Forest. Usually play well when the odds are against us. Can't see us winning. My heart can't take any more injury time goals. 1-1. Forest, at least 3 goals last 3 games. Is that right, Jimmy? They are banging the goals in as well. Forest. They won't get tired in the playoffs because Chris has gone all in on Forest in our Discord chat on Patreon. You love to see it. Forest. Last time we played Coventry was at the start of the season under Krissy 4-2 Forest. Was that the opening day? I think that was Coventry's first last-minute goals, wasn't it? They've been doing it all season. I don't think they're going to get anything from this one. I'm with most of the chat here. I'm on the Forest train. I know they've got some difficult games to come up, so this will be circled. And maybe they can afford themselves a draw down the line. Home. Let's go with the Forest. I know a lot of people are telling me they're scoring 3s. I don't think they're going to get a 3 here, but I do think they're going to be clear. So I'm going to go 2-0 to Nottingham Forest, 8-1. If you fancy that on Betfair as ever, please, which hand do I have to put up? It's mirrored. Please do indeed gamble responsibly. Please do hit the like button. We've got 44 likes. If you hit the like button now, see if you can get us up to 50 likes. We need to say a big thank you before we go on to Sheffield United and QPR. Hold your thoughts on that one. We'll get to that in a second. We need to say a big thank you to the Donovan brothers who sponsor this show over on Patreon in memory of Dad Dennis, Brother Mike, both sorely missed cheering on Millwall from above. Thank you to the Donovan brothers. You two can go and get involved over at Patreon, patreon.com/Benjamin Bloom. Join the roundtables, join the exclusive Q&As, and join the Discord, which is all good fun. Right, speaking of good fun, I will be in Sheffield tomorrow night to watch Sheffield United versus QPR. So wait for a vlog, probably maybe about 10:30. We should be able to get that up if I'm nice and quickly back to my car and editing nice and quickly, and it uploads nice and quickly. Get your predictions in though. Sheffield United draw, QPR. Sheffield United draw, QPR. I won't say it in quite such blatant terms, but I had a comment today saying, well, both of these sides are a little bit off the boil. Well, QPR are definitely off the boil, and there is an argument for Sheffield United, isn't it? 4 points in the last 4, only 1 win in the last 4. Defeat at Stoke at the weekend. And the only team they've beaten in the last 4 is Barnsley, and they're down there in the bottom 3. So I know there's injuries and whatnot for Sheffield United, but this is not the time of the season, and this is not the season to be going down to 1 point per game in the playoff chase. That will not be enough for them Blades. And QPR, they need to do something quick, because we saw all those rumours, didn't we, about Mark Warburton and a possible firing. We'll see what transpires there. Is there smoke without fire? Sometimes there's smoke without fire. You tell me. But get your predictions in. First and foremost, Sheffield United draw QPR. I think I'm edging on Blades, but nothing as convincing as last time I saw them when they beat Middlesbrough 4-1. Let's see what you lot are saying in the chat. Blades draw or QPR. Let's just say a big thank you to Yanis We'll drink to you. Look, I'm on the fake stuff here. 5 Canadian dollars, I believe. Thank you so much, Yanis. Very, very kind. Great support of the channel. Thank you, Yanis. Right, here we go. Blades 2-1. QPR without Billy. We don't have a goal threat. There's something to that argument, Justin. Draw is all I can hope for. Warburton staying until the end of the season when his contract is up. Okay. Blades, Warburton's denouement. Excuse my pronunciation there, if that's a French one. Draw. Blades, draw. Someone's playing their 0-0, which means I can press my childish button here. There it is. Let's get the rest of the predictions in. Blades, narrow. Draw. Blades, draw. Rangers to nick it. Blades. Ball draw. I hope not, if I'm travelling up there. Give me some goals. Blades, home win. Blades. Okay, I'll go with Sheffield United as well. I don't know where that leaves Mark Warburton. I think it might be a tight... I think I might go for a good old friendly 2-1. And let me hit the home button anyway. Home! 2-1. Is that going to be sevens? I don't think it's going to be much over on Betfair. Is it 2-1? Just shy of sevens. 13-2 over at Betfair. Pointing the wrong way. .com. Again, and do check out the vlog tomorrow night. Right, let's talk about Millwall, who start an all right run of fixtures. Millwall versus Swansea. Get your predictions in, guys. Millwall draw Swans. Lions draw Swansea. Mill draw Jacks. Use whatever language you want. Has this game got a bit harder for Millwall since Swansea hammered Cardiff 4-0 at the weekend? Swansea are going to be super confident, 7 points in the last 3. I had this down as a nice one for Millwall, but maybe less so after the weekend. Millwall, good draw for them at Luton. I said in my international break prognostications that Millwall take a point and wins need to come now in these next 5 games. Millwall are 10th, but they are only 4 points off the playoffs. They've done a grand job, Millwall, to finish 8th a couple of times. They've always kind of got close, but never really been touching those playoffs. Be interesting to see how they would cope if they were actually in there with 2, 3, 4 games to go. We'll see how this one pans out. Have Swansea got enough to go to the Den and get something? Get your predictions in, guys. Millwall draw Swansea. Millwall draw or Swansea. Let's get some thoughts from the chat here. Start with Alan. Millwall. Okay, clean sweep to begin with, but Swansea, Mill, draw, Millwall, Lions, Desmond. That means I can press another one of my silly buttons. You're doing it on purpose, Dave, just so I can press all the buttons. There he is. I think it's the first Desmond of the day, isn't it? Swans, Wool, Desmond. A few Desmonds in here. Swans. 4-4 in a Rowett game, Kate. I'll believe that when I see it. Mill, Swans, Mill. The so-called easier games to come don't mean much. They're usually the teams we Sam as well. Sometimes those teams on the beach, actually, they've got nothing to lose and they play with complete freedom and start banging in the goals. So I know exactly what you mean. It's the beach time of the season. I think I'm going to go for a trusty Millwall 1-0 in this one. I think they can force the clean sheet, and we know they're a nuisance to play against Mill. So I'm going to hit the home button. Home! Let's go for a 1-0 for Millwall. What is that going to be? 11-2. Let's have a look over on betfair.com. Do head over to Betfair. Tell them I sent you. Yeah, 11-2 as expected for a 1-0 to Millwall. And I've gone for Blades to win. I've gone for Forest to win. So Millwall would need to win to keep things moving. Remember, Blackburn are a lame duck, a sitting duck this round or this midweek. They're not playing, and everyone can take some chunks out of Blackburn, and maybe a couple of teams are going to be going past the Rovers this midweek. Let me just give a quick plug for our merchandise. Nice, fun way to support the channel. You can get yourself a T-shirt, a mug, a phone case, a hoodie. All I ask is that you send me a picture when you do it. www.benjaminbloommerch.store. And I think if you're watching on YouTube, which I know most of you do watch via YouTube, the merchandise will be below the stream as you're watching right now. Right, enough of me trying to sell stuff to you. Let's talk about Stoke. Stoke are our next one. Reading versus Stoke. I think Reading will be very happy at the weekend, having not lost to Barnsley. That was the key, wasn't it? Reading hold a 5-point gap. We don't have a Barnsley game this midweek. I wonder why that is. I hope I've got all the fixtures correct there. Let me just double check that. Barnsley definitely not playing. They are not playing. Oh, it's maybe play Bournemouth. There's a bit of congestion. So look, a Reading win, as I understand, if I've got my fixtures right, they are 8 points clear. 8 points ahead of everybody. But they've got to play Stoke. And Stoke, well, I think they should be higher than 13th with their squad. But they have won the last two, and they've only lost 1 in 5. Can Stoke go to, I was going to say the Majewski there, it's not called that anymore, the Select Car Leasing Stadium and get something? Let me know your thoughts on this one. This could be a tight affair. And I've heard a few Reading fans telling me, look, Ben, Ince's been a bit more pragmatic than we thought. And sometimes down the bottom there, particularly when you're above the line, just don't lose. Draws are actually enough given the low tide and the snail racing that goes on down at the bottom there. Anyway, let's get to your predictions. Please still get them in. Reading draw or Stoke for us. Let's have a look. I'm really sorry, Shaman Talk. I'm gonna block you, fella. Just spamming the chat now. We love to hear from you. Send me an email if you want me to unblock you. But I think he was in there spamming the other day. I give people a chance, guys. Anyway, I'm going to give you all a chance to predict this game. Let's start with Mark. Stoke, draw. Stoke. Reading, draw. And old Michael O'Neill, draw. Stoke. Reading, shock. 0-0, get it out there. Nathan, away win with a few goals. Stoke hold the ball well. Productive as well. A matter of time before they run riot. Well, he's confident. Nathan, draw. Yes, and no Barnes, so it is a big chance for Reading if they can get the win. Reading, 3-3, Joker, draw, and Stoke. I think I'm going to go with the same logic I went with Reading at the weekend, and it worked. I don't really trust them to win, but I don't think they're going to lose. So maybe I will pull out my... Shall I pull out my 0-0 for this? Is it going to be a 0-0? Go on. A few of you went for it, so I'm going to follow suit and copycat. Let's go for a 0-0. Reading versus Stoke. It's tomorrow night. What'd you get for a 0-0? 13-2 over at, wrong hand again, betfair.com. Right, one more to go, and then we're going to go to your big calls. And it is Blackpool. Oh, it's a very big game, actually. I forgot about this one at the bottom of the card. Preston versus Blackpool. Woof. The Northwest derby up there. At Preston, I believe Blackpool won the first game, didn't they? Get your predictions in. Should be carnage. In theory, it's a beach ball derby as well as a Lancashire. They're both Lancashire, aren't they? Derby up there. And we had a beach ball derby between Cardiff and Swansea. And there was loads of goals in that one. And it ended 4-0. Could we see something similar? Let me know your thoughts on this. Preston, draw, or Blackpool. In my head, Blackpool are better at home than they are away from home. Yeah, 18th in the away, so 13th in the home table. Preston, 17th in the home table. Not much between these two sides. Only 1 point in the table, 14th and 15th. But it's bragging rights. And I think I'm right in saying it would be a Blackpool double as well if they can go to Deepdale and get the away win. Let me know your thoughts. Both sides a bit beachy at the weekend. Derby had too much for Preston, and Blackpool got a bit of a taken to school by Nottingham Forest. Let's get into the chat. You still got time. Preston draw or Blackpool. What are we saying? I'm going to click on that one first because I like it. Bloodbath, a local derby. You love to see it. Right, where are we going to land here first? Dave. Pull, draw, pull, Desmond, Paul. No one's on Preston. I think I might have to change. I think I was with Preston at the start of this. Draw, Paul, Alistair. I don't think people realise how big this. Oh, we do. We do. There's proper hatred. Tuesday under the lights. Have to go North End. Biggest game of the season. Maybe that'll take it off the beach. 3-2 madness. That's what I'm here for. I want to see some beach ball stuff. Loads of goals. Red cards. 2-2. Preston revenge. Paul. It's actually Bournemouth seafront, and loads of the Bournemouth fans got that right. Chris, our beach ball picture. There it is. Idyllic Blackpool. Not Blackpool. Bournemouth. Excuse me. What else have we got here? Apologies if there's any spamming going on. We've only got a few minutes in the stream left, so I won't put slow chat on. Let's just click as many of these as I can. There we go. Apologies if they don't get read out. Ryan, going for the double. Swansea did the double over Cardiff, didn't they? There we go. Apologies. Got them all read out. We didn't get them all read out. I don't know why. I've got a hankering for Preston in this one. I'll probably fall completely flat on my face. Look, they're right together in the table. Blackpool won the first one. No one would be surprised to see this one go either way. Let's just go for a very beachy one. Home. Do you know what? I'm going to go for a 3-1 or something ridiculous like that, just to try and boost the odds up over on Betfair. What will you get for 3-1? Apologies, Blackpool fans, in advance for predicting this. You won the first round. Yeah. Betfair, I think, is far-fetched as well. 16-1. Right. I want to hear, in a minute, your big calls. They can be as outlandish as you like. Outlandish predictions for this midweek round or anything between now and the rest of the season. Get them in. Get your outlandish predictions. I want to see your big calls. In the meantime, if I can just give one more plug before we get to the big calls. One more plug for the likes. Please do hit that like button. We are at 66 likes. Unbelievable. See if we can get up to 75. I would love that. Hit that like button. And I was going to just plug Super Chats. So, yeah, if you fancy supporting the channel, you can do via Super Chat at any point. Help us out here. We're trying to keep growing. We make a little bit of money, but your support is always appreciated, and it'll always be free on YouTube, but you can hit the Super Chat button and help us out. Right, big calls. Outlandish is fine. Get involved with your big calls, and we'll have a bit of fun and games for this one. Maybe my big call, could this be, I don't know if we've had a round so far where both Bournemouth and Fulham lose. Any chance? I don't know. Could this be it? Get your big calls in. Where shall we do? Where should we go first? Scott Parker to be sent off by referee Stroud. That would be like the most little man syndrome fight in the world, Scott Parker and referee Stroud, wouldn't it? Warburton to sub him on and score an overhead kick winner. He was a banker. He wasn't even a player, was he, Dave? So even more far-fetched. Big call. Forest and Luton going to hold out. Strong promotion push, and they play each other. Friday the 15th. I'm trying to get a ticket for that if any Luton fans can help me out. Bournemouth isn't the best beach. Endorse it. Endorse it? It's really nice. Psh, I'm here all week. No first half goals, Sean. On Tuesday? It's possible, actually, isn't it? Didn't we have a Tuesday night where that was the case? What else have we got here? Forest will finish in automatic places, and Bournemouth will lose in play. Oh, wow. Okay, that's a big call. I don't see it, JJ, but they could Devon lock it. Ben to get an Ipswich call up. What position am I going to play, hey? Waffler. What else we got here? Talking of plug. Oh, yes, Cameron. Yeah, go and subscribe to him. I think he's off to... Where are you off to? Burnley, I think. Luton to finish second. Yeah, maybe. Scott Sinclair to be onside. Brad Potts, 90th minute winner. Posh to beat... Okay. What else have we got? Rest in peace, Ray Wilkins. Fulham to score 8 and reach 100. Well, maybe not this round, but I think they're going to do it, Alistair, aren't they? Could be a defining week for the Cherries. Referee Dean to show up on the final games of the season, wheeling the VAR monitoring. Yes, get referee Dean in just to do championship VAR for a game. Coventry to not score in the 90th to 100th minute. Derby to do the great escape. Right, thank you, everybody. Thank you so much for joining and watching. Hit the like button before you go check out the last episode of Dearly Departed, which, if I do this cleverly, will appear right there, right now. And we will see you for the vlog tomorrow night. I will be at Sheffield United versus QPR. If you're at the game, if you're a Rangers fan or a Blades fan, send me a tweet, DM me, and I'll meet you guys and we'll have a drink beforehand wherever you are heading. Thank you, everybody, for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow night.